Today we're doing a full face of waterproof makeup versus non-waterproof makeup. And I'm also gonna dip my whole face in water to see if the waterproof side slides off or if it stays put. So starting out, I'm gonna use the Clinique Moisture Surge. I really just wanna moisturize my skin on both sides just to give both sides a fair chance because I normally moisturize my skin before any makeup products. I love this moisturizer because whether you have dry skin or oily skin, it is perfect, especially before makeup because it keeps your skin really hydrated and it just gets your makeup to last on longer. So on this half of my face, I'm gonna do waterproof makeup, and on this half, I'm gonna do non-waterproof. For the waterproof side, I'm gonna start off with the One Size Beauty Secure the Sweat Primer. So this is supposed to be a sweat-proof, waterproof, like bulletproof, everything proof primer. It does have a very liquid consistency. It looks like a hydrating primer, but when you apply it on your skin, it kind of moves into like this thicker consistency. We're gonna test to see if this is really effective. I'm gonna apply this on the entire half of my face. So the primer doesn't have a sticky effect. It does kind of feel very slippery. So I'm really curious to see how this is gonna be waterproof. Now, One Size Beauty does have another primer called the Secure the Glow Primer. This is more of a hydrating primer. It doesn't claim to be waterproof. I really love this primer because it's really great for dry skin, or even if you have oily skin but you don't really suffer so much from sweat, this would be the way to go. It is also a long-lasting primer, but it just doesn't have any waterproof claims. This primer also does have a very smooth consistency. It doesn't have a tacky or sticky feel to it, so it just seems really, really hydrating on the skin. And doing a side-by-side comparison, I mean, they both look really hydrating. This side just has a little bit of a matte finish versus this side that just has more of a glowy finish. I do want to give a big thank you to One Size Beauty for partnering with me in this portion of today's video to introduce you guys to the new Turn Up the Base foundation. This is their newest liquid foundation. It's supposed to be like a full coverage foundation, so I'm so excited to try these out. So I have 3 shades of their deep dark categories. So this is the shade 45G, which is for golden undertones. This is the shade 25N, which is more for neutral undertones. And then we have the shade 35 Neutral Gold, which is for neutral but slightly warm undertones. It seems like this last shade would be a pretty good match, so I'm gonna go in with the shade 35 Neutral Gold. So before applying my foundation, I always like shaking the product just to make sure I'm mixing all the ingredients so that it blends seamlessly on my skin. And because it's a full coverage foundation, I'm only gonna go in with 1 pump. It has more of like a thicker consistency, and because this is a full coverage foundation, that is exactly what I'm expecting. It's also a foundation that is supposed to blur and smooth the skin, and the best thing about this foundation is it comes in 38 shades, so honestly finding your match is gonna be really easy. I also love that it comes in different undertones. So the shade 35 NG did come off a little bit red, so I just mixed a little bit of the shade 25N just to add a little bit of neutrality to the shade, and this is what the foundation looks like. It does give a really nice blurred effect. I love that it doesn't make my skin look dehydrated like some matte foundations. I am really curious to see how this foundation performs when I dip my face in water. Is it gonna move or is it gonna stay in place? We're gonna find out. So far so good. I do feel like if you have really oily skin or really sweaty skin, this would be a go-to foundation. Or if you're just looking for like a full coverage foundation that doesn't look too cakey on the skin, I think this gives that perfect finish. And I think the foundation pairs really perfectly with the primer. You do just have to apply a very small amount of this primer. It gives me a really nice smooth blurred finish. It leans towards more of a natural finish versus like a super matte finish that sometimes can be a little bit dehydrating. My skin still feels really hydrated, which I love. Now for the waterproof side, I'm gonna go in with the Patrick Ta Hydra-Luxe foundation. This is a very luminous foundation. It doesn't claim to be waterproof, but it is a very lightweight and luminous foundation that gives a very natural finish, so that is why I am using it on this side. The shade that I'm using on this foundation is 21N, which is honestly a really good match. It pulls more of neutral, but you guys can see the difference between both sides. This is very luminous and this side is more of like a matte slash natural finish. Now for concealer, for the waterproof side, I'm gonna go in with the Faux Filter Concealer by Huda Beauty. This is a concealer that claims to be waterproof, so we're gonna put that to the test. I'm gonna apply this on the inner and outer corner of my eyes, on my forehead, and on my chin as well. If you have dry under eyes, you want to blend this concealer out pretty fast because it can dry pretty quick on the skin. So this concealer is supposed to be medium to full coverage. It's supposed to blur, brighten, and conceal. And it's also supposed to give a matte finish. So it definitely gives off a matte finish and it's full coverage. Now for the non-waterproof side, I'm gonna go in with the Kosas Revealer Concealer. This is also a really nice medium coverage concealer. It is more on the hydrating side, so I feel like this is more of like an everyday concealer if you're not going for like a full coverage makeup look. It does also blend really seamlessly, and the undertones does pull a little bit yellow, but if you have warm golden undertones, this concealer shade would be perfect for you. Now we're gonna set these cream products in place. For the waterproof side, I'm gonna go in with the One Size Beauty Blurring Setting Powder in the shade Rich Peach. This powder doesn't claim to be specifically waterproof. It does claim to be sweat proof, but I do feel like sweat proof and waterproof products tend to have similar properties. Now this powder does claim to be a very smoothing powder. It is a very finely milled powder and it gives my skin a really nice blurred effect. So as you can see, it's absorbed majority of the oils on my skin, which I feel like this side didn't have too many oils, but nonetheless it still gives it a nice blurred finish. So I like to apply this on the areas that I applied concealer, and then whatever's left I just go over where I applied the foundation to set it as well. And as you can see, this powder gives me an instantly matte finish, like absorbed all the oils, compared to this side where you can still see the shine on my skin. And look at this, it's giving flawless, it's giving matte. Now for the waterproof side, I'm going to use one of my favorite powders, which is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder. Now this powder doesn't claim to be waterproof, which is why I'm using it on this side, but as you can see, it also helps to mattify my skin really well. It also helps to absorb all those excess oils, so I like to apply it on the areas that I applied concealer, and then take a fluffy brush and just kind of dust off that powder. This is going to help you achieve a very smooth and natural finish. It's not going to be cakey throughout the day. And then whatever's left on the puff, I just like to go over my foundation as well to set it in place. And you want to go in with that brush and just dust off everything to give you a really nice smooth finish. Now, as you can see, both sides look really nice and matte, but the real test is how they perform in water and the differences that they'll make once I dip my face in water. Now, the L'Oreal Fresh Wear blush does claim to be a waterproof blush. It is a powder blush and it's supposed to be a 24-hour wear blush that gives your skin a soft matte finish. So this is the blush that I'm going to use on the waterproof side. Now for the non-waterproof side, I'm going to go in with the Haus Labs Color Fuse blush. Now this is also a powder blush, but it doesn't claim to be waterproof. So I'm going to apply this blush on this side, and this shade is actually very similar to that L'Oreal shade, just slightly lighter. Now for eyeliner, I'm gonna go in with the KVD Tattoo eyeliner. So this claims to be a waterproof eyeliner, and it is a liquid eyeliner. It's supposed to be a long-lasting, transfer-resistant eyeliner, and I'm using the shade Black. I am making that wing really loud so that when I dip my face in water, we can see whether it moves or not. But for the non-waterproof side, I'm gonna go in with the Valentino eyeliner. This is a brush tip eyeliner that is really easy to draw out your wing. So this one doesn't claim to be waterproof, so we're gonna put that to the test. So this is what both sides are looking like. They're very similar in how they look. Very easy to draw because they're both brush tip eyeliners. So for the waterproof side, I'm gonna go in with the One Size Beauty Fantasize mascara. This claims to be a waterproof mascara. It does also claim to hold a curl pretty long, but that will be determined when I do the waterproof test, because typically long-lasting mascaras tend to stay put even in hot and humid weather, whether you're sweaty or whether you cry. For the non-waterproof side, I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes mascara. This is also a mascara that claims to hold a curl pretty well. It doesn't claim to be waterproof, so we're gonna put that to the test. And I really love this mascara, especially for really short eyelashes. For the waterproof side, I'm gonna use the One Size Beauty On Till Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. This is my go-to setting spray if I really want my makeup to last all day long. This setting spray is viral for a reason. Truly love it. If you really haven't tried it and you struggle with your makeup lasting, this is the setting spray I would highly recommend trying out, especially if you have really oily skin or you sweat a lot. As you can see, it comes off like hairspray. So it's basically like hairspray for your your makeup. It's supposed to get your makeup to last longer, stay put, not get oily or greasy, or just move around your skin. But for the non-waterproof side, we're gonna go in with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Setting Spray. This is a hydrating one. It's also a really good one to really help set your makeup. Not a finishing spray, it's more of a hydrating setting spray. So this is what both sides are looking like after the setting sprays have dried down. This side started off really luminous and glowy, but it ended up drying down very natural. This side is still completely matte, like absolutely no glow, no oils, no nothing. And I have dry skin, so this is actually pretty impressive because I don't feel like my skin is dry, dehydrated. The most important thing is the test. So I have here a bowl of water that I'm gonna dip my face into to see which side is gonna stay put and which side is really gonna stay waterproof. I don't know, I'm getting nervous. 3, 2, 1, just do it. Just do it. Guys, this is what it looks like so far, straight out the water. The water's a little bit cold. So far, I can't notice anything. I do have to let this settle in for like about 1 minute before I can kind of see the makeup separating. Instantly, I can tell the mascara smudge, like straight up. Like right here, it's smudged. Right here, you can't really see much smudging. So this mascara is definitely a waterproof mascara. I really want to see if that eyeliner is gonna move and whether my foundation is really gonna start separating. So far, so good. Let's wait 2 minutes and I'll come back and show you guys what I look like. So this is 2 minutes later, and as you can see, this side has dried down, but my makeup is literally intact. Like I don't see the foundation separating, and it seems like the foundation absorbed that water pretty quick without separating it. On this side, you can still see my face is still wet, so it's not drying down as fast, which lets me know that the foundation was not a waterproof foundation. Nonetheless, I try to use products that I really love on this side that still stay put regardless of this waterproof test, but this is just proof that products that actually claim to be waterproof are actually waterproof. As you can see on this side of my face, I can see that foundation separating right in the middle because I can kind of see that yellow undertone, which could come from the foundation and the concealer. So that lets me know that those two products are not waterproof, and the eyeliner ended up staying in place. That could be a waterproof eyeliner, not sure. But on this side of my face, this foundation is definitely waterproof because it didn't move at all. It seemed like the foundation absorbed all that water. My face is not wet. My makeup still looks matte. It doesn't look glowy. So these products are actually waterproof. So if you're somebody who sweats a lot or you're in really hot and humid weather, like these products are really gonna help you prevent sweaty makeup, especially if you're looking for makeup products that last throughout hot and humid weather. So there's no expectation for these products to really pass the waterproof test because they don't claim to be waterproof. Now I'm gonna do the paper towel test to see if this side is gonna pick up makeup. And as you can see, I'm getting makeup picked up on this side when I absorb the water. And I'm also gonna do the same thing on this side. And as you can see, there is like barely any makeup being picked up from this side of my face, and I dipped my whole face in water. And I wanna give a big thank you to One Size Beauty for partnering with me in today's video. This was actually a very fun video to create, to test out their new foundations. So all the details to the foundations will be linked in the description box down below, so don't forget to check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then definitely check out this video right here because I give you guys insight on what products are good from each brand and who they would work for.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.